discuss about ligand substitution reactions without breaking metal ligand bonds. In the previous either acid hydrolysis or base hydrolysis, that is the examples were with breaking breaking metal and ligand bond. With that is the with breaking. This reaction is example for the without bond breaking. Here we write here bond here, without bond breaking metal ligand bond. So here this without bond breaking metal ligand bond is the example for annihilation reaction. What is meant by annihilation reaction means the an means you already you remember for this wording of that particular one. Annihilation means in presence of an anion, the exchanging of exchanging of water molecule by anion. So in the base hydrolysis, in presence of base, the hydrolysis is going on. In presence of an acid hydrolysis, in presence of acid, the hydrolysis is going on. So when the hydrolysis is water molecule is lost, so then incoming ligand is takes place. But here it is nothing but the reverse of the aquation reaction. Here the water molecule is replaced by the anion. Akkademaindi anion is replaced by the water molecule. Again the another incoming ligand is replaced with the water molecule. But here the ligand is exchanging by the water molecule. So here this type of reactions which occurs in below pH 4, the annihilation reactions are reversible, whereas aquation reactions are annihilation reactions are irreversible. Irreversible means once the reaction is going on, it does not come back. But whereas aquation reactions are reversible. It can be explained dissociative and ion pair mechanism. So in examination they ask, for example, give an example for without bond breaking metal ligand bonds. So for the difficult question you remembered in your mind, this is the annihilation reaction. So they have two type of mechanisms is there, but I explained these two. But you in examination which is good for you, you write only one, it is enough. So dissociation mechanism, the cobalt A5H2O. So here the cobalt A5H2O and plus 3 is always the cobalt plus 3 and plus 3 charge, and then they give that best explanation of the dissociative mechanism. Again the forward reaction you write the if you write a small k also enough, here also small case. So K1 it is the forward reaction equilibrium constant, and the K2 is the backward reaction equilibrium constant. The cobalt A5 you already dissociative mechanism, the coordination number is decreased. So for 5 to 5 plus 1 6, it's decreased from 5. So NH2 and cobalt A5 plus 3 and Y minus. So this is the Y again takes place at the K3. So here the water molecule is replaced, water molecule is lost in the first step. The second step, the incoming ligand attached to this one. So this is a slow reaction, for example, but it's because the cobalt water molecule bond also break, but it is some more fast rapid reaction. So here the rate is nothing but the d by d product concentration by dt, that is equal to K into complex the intermediate concentration of cobalt A5 plus 3 Y minus incoming ligand. We already know, we applied the steady state approximation. What is meant by steady state approximation? And the intermediate does not change the time. By because the concentration of the intermediate does not change with the time. By because we take the little quantity of reactants. So all the intermediates or reactants concentrations with the multiplication of that particular equilibrium constants is equal to 0. So you write that simply you remember these two steps, K1 into this complex concentration minus K2 into this complex concentration, right, because it is a forward reaction. Again K3 into this complex concentration into Y minus concentration. So this all is equal to 0. So here the K1 concentration is comes once the positive terms are comes to one side and the negative terms are goes to that side. Again these two can we observe the common one is cobalt A5 plus 3. So we common this one and you get K2 H2 water molecule concentration and K3. So again water molecule concentration is unique. So you neglect that one. You can write like this: the complex concentration of intermediate cobalt A5 plus 3 is equal to K1 cobalt A5H2O plus 3 by K2 plus K3. Now they have three cases depending upon the concentration of incoming ligand Y minus. If the incoming ligand Y minus is more high concentration, we neglect that K2. So we can substitute this value in the first reaction of rate law. You can get rate is equal to K3 into complex concentration A5 plus 3 minus 1. You can put that one and you get this one, and we neglect the K2. Again we get K3 Y minus concentration, K3 get cancelled, Y minus get cancel. We get only complex concentration which is taken at the reactant. So here the rate is equal to K1 into complex concentration, nothing but we get proportional of complex concentration. So here there is no power here, so we can write 1. So this reaction is followed by SN1 mechanism or first order reaction. We already know the first order reaction SN1 reactions is explained only dissociative mechanism. It is one of the evidence the anion reactions can explain based on the dissociation mechanism. So second case is if the K by minus concentration is low, we does not neglect that any two times. We get second order reaction, whereas K3 at moderate concentration, so that rate of reaction is in between 0 to 1. So it is a fractional of the rate of the particular reaction. The another explanation method is here the complex or ion pair mechanism. What is meant by ion pair means two ions are in the side by side. So here in this mechanism there is an outer sphere association between oppositely charged reactants. So here the reactant is positive charge and the incoming ligand is negative charge. So they are the opposite charges combined like this. So for example it is sodium plus and chloride minus. These two ions are come together to form a bond. So here also same, the complex and incoming ligand get together and the opposite charged reactants are high anionic concentration required to achieve the anion independent limit. Under these conditions ion pair path which is kinetically second order complex agent. Why? Because this reaction is depend upon both this complex concentration and incoming ligand concentration. So simply we can write it is a second order reaction. The complex agent react via a dissociative process. Dissociative process means the water molecule and this is the ion pair. So it is a forward and backward reaction. This ion pair is again involved in. So this water molecule is break and incoming ligand Y takes place. So again the d by dt of complex concentration is nothing but this concentration more total. Okay, so again we already in the previous case also we can write that rate constant same like this. You can write all the substitution like this. Again the extra word is here. It is an incoming ligand, so this too you can write without bracket we can write comma and put dot comma dot and comma. So this is indicate ion pair complex in that particular complex concentration. So again the rate is depend upon again the rate by complex concentration. So you can write in the denominator K1 into K3 Y minus concentration by K2 plus K3. So this rate by complex concentration is right that K observation. So this again this K observation you can denominator with 1 by K observation. So it is reciprocal we can take. So it is reverse K2 plus K3 Y minus concentration by K1 and K3. Again this K1 and K3 divided by both fixed. So here K2 by K1 plus K3 Y minus concentration. But here K3 Y minus. So K3 Y minus concentration both are cancelled. We get 1 by K1. So this 1 by K observation is equal to observed is equal to K2 by K1 plus K1 K3 Y minus concentration plus 1 by K. So this is a indication Y is equal to, and this equation is almost equal. We can compare with Y is equal to mx plus c. So Y is nothing but what are the Y axis parameters is 1 by K observation, and slope is nothing but K2 by K1 plus K3, and X is slope. We can reciprocal of incoming ligands. We have several ligands. We can take, observe that what is the rate of the dip, what is the rate and what is the slope, what is the K observation is nothing but a rate by complex concentration. Again, the what is the slope, we can observe the changes in the slope of different of ligands. So here the intercept is 1 by Kc, the C is equal to 1 by C. So we put a graph between 1 by reciprocal of the nucleophile which is taken again versus the K observation. Give a straight line with a slope of K2 by K1 K3, and intercept is 1 by K1. So we observed the several examples. They observed they take two examples of the azide and thiocyanide. So in the values of intercept is same, both azide and thiocyanide is carried out for the dissociative mechanism incoming ligand, but the K1 is some K2 by K3. The values are somewhat changed here. It is less value, it is more value, here also less value. And I observed that 40 degrees and at a room temperature, at the concentration is changed 1 molar, it is concentration. Molar susceptibility or molar concentration is here 5 molar. Again, the rate of the particular reaction is K1 is constant both sides of this, independent of the incoming nucleophile of water H2O. Why? Because it is only depend upon the nucleophile and in complex concentration. For the above, K2 by K3 is low for the azide than the thiocyanide. Thus, the azide ion is a better nucleophile than the thiocyanide. The order of the nucleophilicity for the following ligands are shown. So here they give the order. We observe the several incoming ligands takes in the graph and observe what is the nucleophilicity. Means I already told you what is the nucleophilicity. It is the bond breaking is very less, and the bond making is very fast. It's nothing but they are strongly affinity with the particular metal atom. So that's why they does not break the bond, and fastly affinity with the incoming. If it is an entering group, it is fastly move to the metal atom. So the order is like this. OH minus is more effect nucleophilicity ligand, next azide, next thiocyanide, iodide, amine, and bromide, and S2 S2O3 2 minus, and CNO minus, and water molecule. Okay, thank you.